Hello YouTube, this is Dakota from Bowtied Media. Today we've got a brand new reaction to a new track from TESTPILOT, who is indeed deadmau5. This is the secondary alias for Joel Zimmerman, aka deadmau5, with TESTPILOT, who's sort of an old Techno alias that released one double-sided single, I think back in 2014. No, a single track even, with a remix called Sunspot, White Space Conflict. And so that old track is from 2014, and so now I guess deadmau5 is testing the waters again with TESTPILOT and trying out bringing back some techno. So at least that's what I've heard. I don't actually know for sure. But without any further ado, let's hop into it. This was again voted by the Bowtied gang, the membership on this channel. If you want to say what videos get made each week, you can join channel membership today for super cheap if you want to help out the channel and support. But other than that, let's hop into it. This is Wet by TESTPILOT, technically deadmau5. It's an 8-minute, 45-second track, so you know it's going to be a longer one. You know it's going to be that kind of really long build intro, long outro kind of style deadmau5 track. Hypothetically, assuming. I don't think this is going to be almost 9 minutes of just straight banger the whole time, but let's see where we go from here. I do already hear like the wetness in that wow, that kick. Like it's just very wet. Oh, yeah. Just dark and brooding and like, yeah, just that darky, stormy style of techno that is quite popular nowadays. At least so far. I like how the sound is kind of formed slowly over time into something that's a little different. It's a little flatter now. Okay. Okay, this is interesting now. So that sound in the back, that we're a little spooky now. We're a little scary. We're a little sinister almost. Back into the groove of things. And now is our slow build out of things. Okay, Wet by TESTPILOT. That is the track done and dusted. What did I think about it? I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. I think this is, I wouldn't say, I kind of resort to that right away, but not quite a fun track, but definitely a really intentionally progressive, very laid out, like slow building movement style of track that we're kind of come to know and love from Joel Zimmerman up to this point. And so I just think this is another one of that. I like that we've got a different alias here that actually is ability to like test out some different styles and tones here that we wouldn't really hear on a deadmau5 style song. And I kind of like that. I kind of like keeping deadmau5 as a more progressive house and electro style track, and then keeping, or like alias, and keeping these kind of ones a little bit more separated from the main line. I don't know, something about it just feels right to me, that this feels like, yes, very much a Joel style song, but not so much a deadmau5 one, but also does sound deadmau5. It has that like a core structure to it and identity. But where we are sonically is quite different and quite unique for Joel's stuff. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think this is fun. I do love the progression. I love how we get this. You're introduced to something, and you're not just introduced to, like a lot of music nowadays, you're introduced to a lot of things at once. You're introduced for like just the bass line, the melody, the hi-hats, the kicks, the snares, like the vocal chop. You're just like everything at once kind of just goes. And I sort of really do appreciate hearing songs that are a little more stretched out, a little more pulled out, a little bit more like you take your track and just kind of stretch it a little bit and give it some more oomph, give it some more length, give it some more intentionality for each individual section that you can really hear and focus on and go, oh, this is where this is going. And then you can hear it transform into something else as the track moves on. And so I've always been a fan of songs that are a little bit longer. I like tracks that have that length to it. I do love a 9-minute track. That being said, there wasn't a whole ton going on here one way or another that really made it a super different from a lot of other kind of techno stuff out there, like let's say like a dark brooding techno from like an Enema would be a great example. It's just longer and it feels more progressive, I think is kind of the best way to put it, than like an Enema would. Enema I think is kind of the premier kind of techno kind of progressive, dark, moody producer as of late. I wouldn't say progressive as much, but yeah. And so I enjoyed it for the tones. I enjoyed it for the mixing. I think it's great. But this kind of is, I get this quite a few times with deadmau5 tracks. It's just like, it's great. And I don't really want to go back to it a whole ton. It's not my regular listening habit. And oftentimes I really do try to be like, okay, no, this is really good. Like I really enjoy this. I need to intentionally carve out time. But if I were to put on like a 9-minute song, like I would kind of just like rather listen to like an old, like a Razor Weapon and then like a Sophie Needs a Ladder kind of thing or something like that, and play those rather than something like this. But yeah, so I enjoyed it. I liked it for its technicality, for its progression. I just don't know if I'll come back to it a whole ton, which is fine, I think, and that's just why I think it's nice to have another alias like this in TESTPILOT. So but yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below of any and all thoughts on this song. But other than that, I'm Dakota from Bowtied Media, and I'll see you guys in another video.